Want to do a video?
We're about to go back out there.
Right,
Yeah.
right. What made you decide to keep bees?
I don't know, when I moved down here, I just wanted something to piddle in. And they talked about how the bee population was falling quick. My brother mentioned it. And I just ordered some bees. Went from there. This will be the 4th summer that I've had bees. And I started with one hive, package of bees. And I've ordered 3 packages since. And the rest are swarms. It was basically just something to do. They're interesting. They keep you busy. They calm me.
So it's kind of therapeutic.
It is therapeutic, yeah. Between the gardening and the bees.
If you could tell yourself a lesson or a couple of lessons as you were starting out beekeeping, what would they have been?
My first one would be don't look in the box all the time. I had to look in that box all the time when I'm with my first set of bees, and it interrupts the cycle. So I was 10 days, 2 weeks, a week. I always just had to look in it, see what was going on. And I think it interrupts their cycle. So they say your queens will come around every 28 days if you have queens. So if you get lucky and you catch them in the middle of a queen cycle, then you're going to wait about 45 days before that next queen will actually come out again.
Have you ever thought about doing a clear beehive
Yeah.
out of plexiglass?
Yeah. Yeah. We're thinking about putting one in the house now on the wall, run it all winter long, but I don't know. I got to figure out how you would get in the box while it's in the house without having the bees in the house. But I'm going to start a venom farm, bee venom. They use it for medicine nowadays, or experiment with it. So I'm going to set boxes. It's got to be kind of a sterile area inside of a building. And I might make one of those clear so I can see what's going on in there. But it'll be a separate building.
So, in essence, you could harvest the bee venom from all the bees.
Could, yeah.
And so you'd be propagating income from two sources there. And, of course, the beeswax that you
beeswax.
Do you recycle all that? How do you?
Everything gets recycled. We actually take the beeswax now. We're starting a business. I don't have the website up yet. It's Pleasant Point, and we are making products like body creams with wax in it, hand creams, lip balms, beard balms with actual wax that I take out of my hives.
Very cool.
Yeah.
In order to you recycle them old black combs, melt them down and then filter that stuff out.
Them nasty black ones like that, I will just throw in the fire and burn because they soak up more wax than they actually produce.
Oh, okay.
And
so
it's stinky.
That's another lesson to the beginner is don't try to salvage.
Don't mess with that dirty black wax.
Don't mess with it
Yeah,
because it's just poopy.
It's just full of bugs and legs and limbs and poop and.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very knowledgeable information.
Yeah.
Okay. When was it that you first triggered your mind into beekeeping as something you wanted to do? There had to be some sort of a factor that was involved in throwing you into that general dynamic.
I don't know. I just started seeing a lot of things like when I was still living up by Wisconsin. You've seen a lot of it in the news about bees and our population and how fast we were losing them, and our human population's growing so fast that we're having trouble feeding them. And 30 or 40% of the products that we eat are actually have to be pollinated in order to have them. So it was kind of save the bee.
So you,
I'm going to see what difference they make in my yard and in my garden and in my fruit trees. Makes a huge difference. I mean a huge difference. Yeah, they're always there. They're always pollinating. Fruit's always plentiful. Unless it gets snowed on or frostbit, the weather goes wrong. But
right.
they do their job.
Huh.
So it was a project, and then as I started learning more and more about how good honey is for, we all know what raw honey does for us. The propolis, like I said, it's cancer curing, tumor curing, wound curing. I've put it on wounds.
So there's lots of avenues for alternate applications because it's solid. It's a biofuel. It's
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
perpetually recycling.
It goes.
There's
they go
there are no negatives
You got,
with it.
you got a girlfriend flying
Yeah,
around.
I heard her.
Yeah, I used to feed out here, and I couldn't do it because the bees started tracking back and forth.
Right.
And if you sat out here,
Yeah.
they had to come visit you.
Right.
Yeah.
Check you out.
You'd get
What are you doing?
Get
Yeah.
a dozen bees around you. They get tired flying back and forth. All of a sudden, they're landing on you, taking a break.
Yeah.
And if you smash one under your collar or in your hair,
Oh yeah.
you get hit. So I use the bee stings also when I got muscle issues,
Yeah.
and I will sting myself with the bees in my
Oh.
neck and shoulders. My fiance, I sting her. She has big issues. She just had a hip replacement, and before the hip replacement, we were stinging those muscles in that thigh to make them quit spasming. And it was instant for her. You sting her, and
Wow.
5 minutes later, the pain was at a tolerating area.
Wow.
And I sting myself.
So
Anymore, I don't have to sting myself because playing with the bees, I get stung anyway. But yeah, that's. My fiance thought I was a goofball when she first moved back 2 years ago.
Right.
When we met up and she started staying here. She thought I was off my rocker doing this stuff, stinging myself and cooking down propolis for medicines and
Right.
making tinctures. I make tinctures out of the yard with weeds. And she's now into it. She's actually the one that started the hand lotions with the wax and the body butters.
Right.
And they go from there.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
we're just getting started.
Just getting started because
Just getting started.
the product market is starting to open up into hemp butter and CBD oils, and soon if it becomes legalized, it'll be a certain percentage THC into the cream
Yeah.
that will add additional penetration probably.
All
'Cause it's
kinds
an
of
oil.
things. Yeah, it's all
So,
kinds of things. Yeah.
yeah, there's so many big dynamics that are.
Yeah. Between tinctures, hemp. Yeah. We started experimenting with the hemp. We're in Missouri. I got the grow license and MMP, so we started messing with that stuff to figure out what you can do with it. And I'd like to break into that, the bees. And my next project is fresh vegetables for the local area because of all the shipping problems. all the problems we have with vegetables getting shipped so far that they're starting to sour on us
Right.
or catch salmonellas or anything else like that. So
I see an area where you could like terraform, like little layers. Because once you terraform it, it's there forever. It's gonna outlast you.
yeah,
And how cool would it be to be terraformed if you went like down this little valley and had berries? All you do is water in the front, and all the water just
all
kind of
rolls
went
down.
down.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's kind of
that
the idea because
that
I want to
that
try
would be
to
super cool.
recycle all the rainwater and the gray water that comes out of the house. I've got to figure out how to treat the gray water, which most of the time run it through stone and sand and
And
air,
that's about it.
and you're clean. So, and that's basically what I was going to do is start watering at the top of the hill and let it all run down towards the bottom.
Uh-huh. I mean, you're going to have other plants that are probably not going to care. And they're, and
You
gray,
kind of just figure out
gray
who wants
water's
what.
going to seep out of the first sand anyway.
Yeah,
You're not going to have anything in the sand but maybe opium poppies, maybe,
yeah,
that,
calcium.
yeah, because they grow right in
Your
the sand.
your real minerals are going to be there, but your soaps and other byproducts
Yeah.
actually stick to the limestone and stay the same. So.
Yeah. What's the most real thing you ever saw?
The most real thing I've ever saw.
The most real thing you ever saw. Whatever struck you with the most awe. Like, wow, this is really real.
I watched a car go through the ice one time. It was pretty crazy. The craziest thing I ever done was a snowmobile across open water. That was realism. You were dead or alive. That was it. That's the only choice you had. And then a couple days after that, a guy was shooting across the sand for him, and the rescue squad got out there and picked up the helmet, and his head was still in it.
Oh.
And when I heard that, that was a realism, a real realism. Yeah, that the ice, he hit it right at ice level and it decapitated. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I started doing crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Fast on motorcycles or jumping off the bridges and stuff like that. I'm like, no, that's not worth it. And I quit riding snowmobiles across open water too.
I bet. Wow, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
I don't know, I've seen a lot of cool stuff.
What's the
There's a lot
coolest
of
thing you
cool
ever
stuff.
saw? You ever seen anything in the sky?
I seen drones last night that was pretty crazy. We were going over to Mom's house, and over by her house, she's about 2 miles north of here. We got to going that way. Sissy thought it was a satellite, but it was within inside the atmosphere. As we got closer, it was flying towards us. You could see the green and the white and the red light. She said, "That's an airplane," and I'm like, "No." And then it got right above us. You could tell it was a drone.
Huh.
So last night we were UFOers. Yeah. That was pretty wild.
You ever seen anything unexplainable? I mean, we are in the Ozarks.
I haven't. Nothing unexplainable. Yeah, nothing unexplainable.
No Sasquatch.
No Sasquatch. Nope, no Sasquatch. We think we got one out here somewhere that keeps all our deer safe. So that's his project car.
I never did have a project thing go on when I was a kid. My whole life was a project, I guess.
Right? That's the way I look at it.
'Cause at the age of 12, I basically had a hard restart.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I remember when I first going back to school, I was supposed to have a girlfriend. I didn't know what she looked like. I couldn't for the life, and I was too scared to ask anybody about it.
Really?
Yeah, I was too scared to ask anybody about it, and I was like, somebody's got to tell me, somebody's got to write me a note, somebody's got to do something. I know I've got a girlfriend somewhere, I just don't remember what she looks like.
She looks like. Oh man.
And that was a lot of my growing up. Was
tough.
I didn't remember a whole lot of stuff before the age of 12. It was all kind of wiped out. You know, if you lose half of what you learned
Right, yeah.
from 12 back, you don't remember about half.
There's not a lot of it there
You
either.
don't remember half of it anyway.
Cursive.
So right, and then you remove half of that. And I never did write cursive again.
Really?
I was mostly a printer, yeah.
Huh.
I tried to in the military, but I got tired of it.
They don't even
because they forced me to.
Yeah, they don't even write cursive no more. They don't even teach cursive.
Yeah.